you already know how the dinosaurs died. Giant asteroid. Big boom, sad T-Rex. Case closed. Except, maybe not, because the asteroid may have arrived after the murder had already started. The first suspect came from space. The second suspect came from under their feet, and it was bigger, slower, and much more annoying. So today, Dr. Foss is reopening the dinosaur murder case, because maybe the asteroid did kill the dinosaurs. Or maybe it just showed up at the perfect time to take all the blame. The classic story is beautiful. A rock 10 kilometers wide hits Earth. The sky catches fire. Dust blocks the sun. Food chains collapse. Dinosaurs disappear. Clean, simple, very YouTube the Tarn friendly. But science has a rude habit. It looks at simple answers and says, cute. Now show me the evidence. And the evidence gets weird. Because around the same time the asteroid hit, something else was happening. Something enormous, something toxic, something that did not fall from the sky. It was rising from inside Earth. A volcanic region in ancient India was waking up. Its name was the Deccan Traps, which sounds like a board game, but was more like Earth opening a murder factory. The asteroid was fast. The Deccan Traps were slow. The asteroid was a bullet. The Deccan Traps were poison in the air, acid in the rain, heat in the oceans, and lava across the land. One killed in a moment. The other may have been killing for hundreds of thousands of years, which makes the dinosaur extinction less like one disaster and more like a crime scene with two very suspicious suspects. To understand why this mattered, you need to see the world before it broke. 66 million years ago, Earth was not a dusty fossil museum. It was hot, humid, green, almost aggressively alive. Much of the planet was covered in forests, jungles, wetlands, and woodlands. Even polar regions had prehistoric forests.
Yes.
Forests near the poles. Today, if you ask Antarctica to grow a salad, it calls security. But back then, parts of the polar world had pines, ferns, and ecosystems tough enough to survive months of darkness. And animals were everywhere. Pterosaurs filled the skies. Marine reptiles patrolled the oceans. Long-necked giants swam through ancient seas. And on land, if something was larger than a golden retriever, there was a decent chance it was a dinosaur with landlord energy. Dinosaurs had ruled Earth for more than 150 million years. That is not a phase. That is not having a good run. That is dominating the planet so long that mammals spent most of it hiding like unpaid interns. This was a kingdom, a huge, ancient, successful kingdom. And then the throne started smoking. This time, India was not attached to Asia. It was a giant tropical island drifting north. Basically, a continent-sized delivery truck. Destination, Asia. Estimated arrival, violent mountain collision. But under this lush island was something much worse than bad traffic. The Deccan Traps. A volcanic region around 1,000 kilometers wide. Not one volcano. Not a dramatic mountain with a hole on top. A massive volcanic province. A place where Earth could bleed lava across an entire landscape. Imagine a stove burner. Now make it continent-sized. Now put a tropical island on it. That was the problem. At first, the monster did not roar. It did not explode. It did not do the big villain entrance. It exhaled carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, poison in slow motion. About 800,000 years before the asteroid hit, the Deccan Traps began releasing gases into the atmosphere. Not enough at first to look like the end of the world, just enough to be ignored. Which is exactly how slow disasters become terrifying, because the gases did not stop. They kept rising, year after year, century after century, for hundreds of thousands of years, like leaving a car running in a garage. Except the garage was Earth. Then the whisper became vomiting. About 300,000 years before the asteroid, the Deccan Traps began pouring out lava. And this was not normal lava. This was lava flood. A normal eruption is a volcano having a very bad day. This was a continent having a meltdown. Volcanoes stretch beyond the horizon. Lava moved across the land in rivers. Toxic clouds rolled over coastal regions. Ash darkened the sky. Wildfires spread where magma touched forests. India went from tropical paradise to forbidden pizza. And the first victims were local ecosystems. Plants died. Animals died. Habitats vanished. Some dinosaurs may have been buried, poisoned, burned, or forced out, as their world turned into a smoking red map. But here is the problem. Local catastrophe is not enough. Earth has had plenty of local catastrophes. If the Deccan Traps had stopped there, dinosaurs might still have been around. Maybe T-Rex would have evolved into a lawyer. We do not know. But the nightmare did not stop. Because to kill a planet, lava is not enough. You need the air. The gases from the Deccan Traps began changing the whole planet. First, the world warmed. The oceans heated up, at least a couple degrees over a long geological window. That sounds small, because humans are bad at numbers that do not come with pizza slices. But for ecosystems, a few degrees is a big deal. Still, slow warming gives life some chance to adapt. Not a good chance, but a chance. Then nature did something extremely rude. Some volcanic gases warmed the planet. Other volcanic gases cooled it. So after ecosystems were stressed by heat, they got hit by cooling. Hot, cold, acid. Repeat. Nature invented climate whiplash, no seatbelt included. The sulfur in the atmosphere came back down as acid rain. The carbon dioxide dissolved into oceans and made them more acidic. So land was getting punished from above. The ocean was getting punished from within. And the food web was about to find out that size does not matter when your foundation disappears. So let's talk about plankton. Tiny, weird, easy to ignore, generally not invited to dinosaur documentaries. But plankton are one of the most important groups in the ocean. They sit near the bottom of the marine food web. Small creatures eat them. Bigger creatures eat those creatures. Even bigger creatures eat those creatures. And eventually some giant marine monster gets lunch. It is a beautiful system, until the plankton quit. Acidifying oceans can damage plankton and other tiny marine life. And if the base of the food web starts collapsing, the rest of the ocean does not politely continue. It falls apart. Think of plankton as tiny ocean employees holding up the entire company. Nobody knows their names. Nobody respects them. Then one day they stop showing up, and suddenly the whale department is closed. So while dinosaurs on land faced changing climate, acid rain, fires, and poisoned air, the oceans were losing their foundation. This is where the extinction stops feeling like one dramatic explosion and starts feeling like the planet removing support beams one by one. Then the Deccan Traps entered their final form, around 50,000 years before the asteroid impact. The eruptions may have become truly monstrous. The Deccan Traps roared. Lava poured out on a scale that is difficult to draw without making the screen look broken. Tens of trillions of tons of magma came out of Earth. Tens of trillions. That is not a number. That is a math hostage situation. And this did not last a weekend. It may have lasted thousands of years. For comparison, all of human civilization is only thousands of years old. So imagine everything from early farming to smartphones, except the weather forecast is just lava again. Wildfires spread. Earthquakes shook the region. Tsunamis smashed coastlines. Heat poured out from inside the planet. And then, possibly, the sky became insane. Some scientists have suggested that extreme heat from these eruptions could help create hypercanes. These are not normal hurricanes. These are nightmare cyclones, storms tens of kilometers wide, winds approaching 1,000 kilometers per hour, about 3 times stronger than the worst hurricanes humans have recorded. At that point, calling it weather feels rude. It is more like a sky blender with anger issues. These storms may have reached high into the atmosphere, possibly even damaging the ozone layer, which means life already choking on poison and acid may also have lost some protection from the sun's radiation. So the dinosaurs got lava, poison, acid rain, broken oceans, climate whiplash, wildfires, earthquakes, tsunamis, an angry sky. A very generous package from planet Earth, and the asteroid still had not arrived. On the other side of the world, a bright dot appeared in the sky. A 10-kilometer asteroid, coming in extremely fast, with the energy of billions of atomic bombs. This is the part everyone knows. And to be clear, the asteroid was absolutely catastrophic. This was not a pebble with good branding. It smashed into Earth and created a planetary disaster. Debris blasted into the sky. Heat radiated outward. Dust and particles helped block sunlight. Photosynthesis crashed. Food chains snapped. The world went dark and cold. If you were a dinosaur already struggling through volcanic poison and climate chaos, this was not a challenge. This was the final insult. If Earth was already barely standing, the asteroid was a chair to the face. And yes, that impact may have finished off many surviving dinosaurs. But now the story looks different, because the asteroid may not have hit a healthy planet. It may have hit a wounded one. a planet already weakened by hundreds of thousands of years of volcanic stress, which means the asteroid might not be the entire murder. It might be the final blow. And the worst part? After the asteroid hit, the Deccan Traps did not stop, because apparently Earth wanted a sequel. After the impact, life was devastated. But on the other side of the planet, the Deccan Traps kept releasing gases. So imagine surviving the worst impact in 100 million years, then being forced to breathe volcano exhaust. That was the aftermath. The planet stayed unstable, poisoned, darkened, acidic, wounded. And eventually, about 75% of all species vanished. Most dinosaurs disappeared. Pterosaurs disappeared. Many marine reptiles disappeared. Entire ecosystems were erased. But one dinosaur lineage survived: birds. Tiny, feathery survivors, which means dinosaurs are still with us. They just became smaller, louder, and more likely to steal your fries. Every bird outside your window is a reminder that the dinosaur story did not fully end. It got weird, it got wings, and it started screaming at 5 a.m. But the main case remains. Who actually did it? Was it the asteroid? Was it the Deccan Traps? Was it teamwork? The annoying answer is, we do not know for sure. Scientists still debate the timing. They debate how intense the eruptions were. They debate how much damage happened before impact. They debate whether dinosaurs were already declining or still mostly okay. Because rocks from 66 million years ago are terrible witnesses. They just sit there, being rocks. Some reconstructions make the Deccan Traps look like a major killer before the asteroid. Others give the asteroid the starring role. And many scientists think the answer may be both. The volcanoes weakened the world. The asteroid shattered what was left, a 1-2 punch. A slow poison followed by a cosmic hammer. This is less satisfying than one clean answer, but it is probably closer to how nature works. Nature rarely says, here is one simple cause. Nature usually says, here are 12 disasters stacked in a trench coat. And the deeper you look, the scarier the pattern becomes. Because the Deccan Traps might not be a one-time villain. They might be part of a much older murder method. When scientists study the biggest mass extinctions in Earth history, they keep finding something disturbing. Massive lava events, again and again. At least 4 of the 5 biggest mass extinctions happened around the same time Earth was releasing gargantuan amounts of magma. The worst one was the Permian extinction, about 250 million years ago, long before T-Rex, long before birds, long before mammals had any confidence. That extinction was linked to the Siberian traps, another gigantic flood basalt event, and it killed around 95% of species. 95%. That is not an extinction. That is life almost rage-quitting Earth. So maybe the dinosaur extinction was not just a random rock from space. Maybe the asteroid was the flashy suspect. The one standing in the room holding the giant smoking crater. But the older suspect was under the floor, a slow volcanic serial killer, one that wakes up rarely, moves slowly. But when it does, it can rewrite the history of life. That is the real twist. The monster that may have helped kill the dinosaurs was not hiding in space. It was in Earth's basement. So should you worry? No. Do not cancel lunch. This monster is real, but it is extremely slow. Flood basalt events do not sneak up like jump scares. They unfold over huge geological timescales. If something like this began again, scientists studying Earth's interior would likely see warning signs far in advance. Maybe incredibly far, maybe millions of years. So this is not a panic story. It is a perspective story. Because the dinosaur extinction is usually told like one bad day, one rock, one impact, one ending. But the truth may be darker and more interesting. The dinosaurs may have been living through a planet-scale disaster before the sky ever fell. Their world may have been heated, poisoned, acidified, burned, shaken, and starved. Then the asteroid arrived, not as the whole story, but as the final period at the end of a very violent sentence. So maybe the dinosaurs were not killed by one murderer. Maybe they were trapped between two, a rock from space and a monster beneath their feet. And somehow, from that disaster, one branch survived. Tiny living dinosaurs, carrying the family name, singing in trees, stealing sandwiches, and reminding us that extinction does not always erase a kingdom. Sometimes it just changes its shape.